Wow. Best laid plans and all that. For some reason, I can't get it to work with Zoom tonight. Oh, gosh, damn it. They seem to have changed all the options, and I have no idea why anything's going on anymore. Um, can't do green screen. You can't just share to a group page. You have to do it. Well, I don't know. It's all gone a bit mad. So I'm just going to do it live. It's one of those things, and nothing we can do about it. Technology at its best, and you'll just have to excuse the lovely green screen. Oh, dearie me. Mad, absolutely mad. Oh, don't know what happened there. Pressed a button I shouldn't have pressed. So if we could just change that color ratio. Oh my gosh. Ooh, don't know. Is that worse? I don't think I've caught the sun that much. That's probably the most realistic look we're going to get tonight. So anyway, what we're going to be talking about tonight is emotions, and yeah, why we have them, basically. Lots of different emotions. Now, I cannot see anything at the moment. Where's my phone? I don't know if anybody's online. I don't know if anybody's watching. I don't even know if I'm live. I think I am. So just have a quick look on my phone, and you can hopefully add to it and tell me you're here, and tell me I'm live. Tell me you can hear me. Oh yeah, it does seem to be that I am live, but nobody's watching. Oh yeah, got a couple of people watching. It's just come up. Oh, let me turn that down. Shh. You know, your feedback. But please do comment. Let me know you can hear me all right. Do something. Hiya. Yes, good. Thank you, Beth. Thank you for joining us. Um, brilliant. I just wish the old the old Zoom thing was working. I have to work out what's going on there because that is they've changed all the settings when you try and log in to go into do it live. But never mind. I'm sure we'll work it out. Anyone else want to comment? Anyone else say hi? We're just going to wait a few minutes for a few more people to join. I was a bit late on trying to sort out the technical issues, and there we go. Oh, no, it's not even let me post live on Facebook, not let me comment or anything. Anyway, maybe I'll let me do it at the end. I don't know. It's all gone a bit mad. Thank you, Alison, for letting me know I am live. Cheers. Um, all good. So, purpose of our emotions then. We might as well start. We've got a few people on, and people can always watch it back and start again if they want to. I'm still trying to look for settings, but I can't find any. Why? Why? Why do they change things? I've got to learn it all over again. I only just worked out how to mute people. Emotions. Okay. Emotions play an important part of our everyday life. We need our emotions. They're there for a reason, and they dictate really how we think and how we behave. Um, it can really influence us in our decision making and the things that we do in an everyday scenario in our lives. So it's important to understand that there's three parts to our emotions. There's the subjective component, okay, and this is basically how we experience our emotion. There's a psychological component, and this is how our bodies react to that particular emotion. You can imagine with something like fear, you can have a horrible feeling in the pit of your stomach. And the final one is the expressive component. Now, this is basically how we respond to this emotion that we're feeling, whatever the emotion is. And that response might dictate our behavior in that particular situation at that time and place. So knowing that we have three different components, the psychological, the subjective, and the expressive, does allow us to start recognizing when we're doing things on an emotional level. Now, emotions can be short-lived. They could be a fleeting bit of anger, maybe with a colleague at work or something, and then you suddenly realize it's not as bad as it was, and you calm down. But of course, we can make these emotions last a lot longer. We can dwell on things, and things like even anxiety. can cause all sorts of long-term emotional problems. So there are 6 basic emotions, okay, and these all have their own effect on our human behavior. So the 6 basic emotions then: um, happiness, sadness, fear, disgust, anger, and surprise. All right. So we've got those 6 basic emotions, and now they have lots of different emotions involved in each one. So let's look at happiness for a start. I mean, happiness is one thing that we're all striving to have. Okay. Now, obviously, when you're feeling happy, it might be because you're in love. It might be because you suddenly feel a sense of relief over a situation. It might just be that you feel contented. Okay, it might be that someone's making you laugh and you having amusement, jokes, whatever, so you're in a good place. And of course, other things: joy, pride, excitement, peace, satisfaction, compassion. All these things, or all these different emotions, can be involved in what makes us happy or how we feel when we're happy. Okay, and of course, on the flip side of happiness, the second one is sadness. Okay, so when you're sad, oh, by the way, just go back to happiness. The one thing about feeling all these wonderful, happy feelings is it lets us know what is good and what we like to do and what we like to do again. Okay, so we can seek out those things and have a happier life. Okay, so the second feeling, emotion, is sadness, and all sorts of things can cause sadness, from being heartbroken, just having a really bad day, feeling lonely, disappointed when you've maybe been rejected or something's not quite gone the way you expected it to. Grief, of course, can cause a lot of sadness. And sometimes we can just get a general feeling of unhappiness, and we might put that down as maybe being depressed. Of course, feeling a little bit lost in any situation where you feel a bit out of your depth, that's again not going to make you feel good. So, of course, you're going to feel a bit sad. And sometimes we just resign ourselves to feeling miserable for whatever reason, just not happy at all. So sadness is there to make sure that we recognize these things that make us sad and avoid them. Why wouldn't we? We want to avoid the things that make us sad, of course. The third emotion then is fear. Now, fear has a lot going on in it, okay? Now, fear is there basically to kick us into a fight, flight, freeze response. One of the three, anyway. Not all at once, hopefully. Okay, you get very confused. So the fear response is there to protect you, to kick in all those hormones that you need to fight or flight. All right, all those nice things like adrenaline, cortisol, and even some good ones that get thrown in as well. Dopamine helps with pain relief and things like that. So you get a massive surge of these chemicals into the body. Now, things that can cause fear then is when you're constantly worried about something, or it could be you're just worried about something for a short time. But when you're worried, you're going to kick in with fear. When you're doubtful about something, and of course that could be anxiousness, okay, worried about what's going to happen in the future. And of course there could be something life-threatening which will make you terrified. Okay, and of course you want to avoid those kind of situations. And terrified, you can have similar things like panic, being horrified, feeling desperate, confused, and stressed, and all these other wonderful emotions that are involved in fear. Now, of course, fear is there to really help us avoid dangerous situations, or at least get out of them quickly, whether that be fighting or running away. All right, and that's what the fear is there for, to give you that surge of chemical to help you recover from that situation quickly. Okay, so that's why we have fear. Yeah, it's to try and it's one of our main emotions that are involved with the survival of our species. Okay, now disgust is the fourth one. Disgust is an interesting one. Now, sometimes we can be disgusted with ourselves, and that's a different feeling altogether. But we can be disgusted with our performance or something. Okay, now that's a great feeling because we can use that feeling to improve ourselves, to drive ourselves forward, to make things better in what we're doing, whatever it is. But of course, we can have disgust on the other side where we disgusted with something that else is going on. So we might dislike the way someone's treating someone else. We might have a revulsion to a particular type of food or even a person for that matter. Okay. We might have a loathing for someone because they're completely horrible. Okay. And it's other things like disapproving of things, and it doesn't have to just be people. It might even have offense. You might be offended by something that somebody does. Okay. And again, we can have some other things like horrified, and we had that in fear as well, didn't we? And these can lead to things like nausea. We can be absolutely feeling sick to the right deep in our stomach, and to the point where we just don't want to be anywhere near that situation. Okay, and again, it's another one that's great in our survival and our drive to be happy. Okay, and I quite like using the fact that the word disgust can be used on both sides, to in a positive to self-improvement. Okay, we do something, we don't do it well, we're disgusted in the way we do it, we're not happy with it. Okay, to then pick ourselves up and drive forward and improve it, learning by our mistakes. At the end of the day, we don't actually make mistakes, we just realize how we shouldn't have done something. Okay, so we can always drive forward and change the outcome. Okay, so it's a great emotion, being disgusted. It has all sorts of implications, both positive and negative. Now, the fifth one then, the fifth feeling is anger. Okay, the fifth emotion is anger. Now, we've all experienced anger, okay, and that can be from being slightly peeved to absolutely vengeful in a situation, okay. And now we quite often strike out with anger and revenge before we even realize what we're saying. Okay, so someone's annoyed you, they've upset you, they've made you angry, and well, not the great thing, but something that anger does, of course, is you react so emotionally that you end up saying something you regret later. Okay, so, from a little bit of being peeved off all the way to being absolutely vengeful in a situation, and you say something just to hurt someone. Okay, or you might even do something just to hurt someone. So we can be infuriated, we can be irritated, we can just feel a little bit contrary sometimes, and that little bit of anger, for whatever reasons, just niggling away, and you just want to be a little bit um, mischievous in the situation, trying to be a bit clever maybe, okay, just to make yourself feel good quite often, which is not always good because it's quite often done at someone else's expense. So we don't want to be doing that. But anger is a great way of us learning how to respond to people, how to meet common ground with people. At the end of the day, a lot of these emotions are involved on a person-to-person basis, and we have to learn how to get along with people because at the end of the day, that's a fundamental connection with survival. We want to survive. And this is one of the reasons why the human race has done so well. From early man, it realized that it would survive better in a group. So these groups became bigger, they became tribes. Quite often, distended families would make up a village, okay, and a lot of people were related in some way, shape, or form. But by having a group of people like that, they were able to survive better because they'd have people with different skill sets. Some people were good at hunting, some people were good at foraging, some people were good at nursing, whatever it was. And so lots of people with different skill sets pulled together have lots of different strengths, and that enables them to survive. And that's what we need. So a lot of these emotions are on a human connection, learning how to work with people on all different levels. And the sixth one, surprise. Okay, surprise is an unusual one because surprise can be anything from feeling happy to sad, okay, to anger, to disgust. Surprise is one of those things that, we've all had a happy surprise. That's nice. But we've always had those annoying surprises that we don't particularly like. Okay, so surprise can go from one extreme to the other with all the emotions that we've probably mentioned already. So, but surprise again is there to help us react quickly. Okay, surprise is certainly going to kick in the fight, flight, freeze response if we need it. Okay, and then initially that surprise might just kick in a sudden surge of chemicals to help us deal with the situation. So surprise can cause all sorts of things from fear and tension, feeling uncomfortable to feeling happy, feeling silly and stupid. Okay, it caught you out. surprised in a different way, shape, or form. So we do need to realize that all these emotions, all these six emotions, are there for a reason. And at the end of the day, it's all designed for us to be able to work with other people, whether that be on a family level or a work level or on just on a human level outside of people we don't know. Okay, so all these lovely, wonderful emotions are all designed for us to be able to learn how to get along with each other. Okay, you seek out the people that make you happy. Okay, then why wouldn't you? You avoid the people that might make you sad. Okay, and situations that might make you sad, so you can avoid those. And you can go through the whole list: fear, disgust, anger, surprise. All these emotions are there so that we can respond to the people around us in the way that that serves us best at the end of the day, to avoid horrible situations or engage with people that make us happy. That's the kind of thing. And at the end of the day, our two instincts on a subconscious level are survival and to seek out things we like doing, seek out happiness, seek out pleasure. Okay. So what we've got to do then, we need to understand that we need to learn how to recognize these emotions, because recognizing our emotions is important. Understanding the reason behind your emotion, okay, is important. And sometimes we just have to sit back and self-analyze. Why was I responding like that? How was that going to serve me? How should I have responded? How would I have had a better outcome that would have served me better? And just by analyzing these things, we can learn to calm down the chimp brain, stop that chimp from rattling the cage too hard, and just sitting quietly for a moment and assessing the situation. A bit of diplomacy, a bit of thought before action, a bit of thought before speaking. We've all been subjected to that, I'm sure. Okay, so we need to understand how our emotions serve us. So we can have our emotions that make connections with people and make people around us feel that they want to be around us. Okay, so at the end of the day, we all want to feel good. It's as simple as that. All right. So we can do lots of things to sort of feel in control. Okay. Our emotions can greatly affect our mood and behaviors. We've already mentioned that. Okay. So how we're going to respond and everything else. So with whatever feeling you're feeling, okay, it's going to have a direct impact on your relationships, your family, your friendships, your work colleagues, whatever. So how we respond is going to have a direct impact on those people around us. Okay, so if we respond in an angry, horrible feeling, then of course other people are going to feel that same vibe. Okay, but if you surround yourself with happy people, the chances are you're going to feel happy all day. All right. And sometimes we do have to analyze the situation we're in, the situation that's making us unhappy and sad and everything else and depressed, and say, right, I don't need this situation anymore. It's toxic. We've all heard that word. Toxic relationships, toxic workplaces, toxic situations. And sometimes we've got to do our best to get away from it, okay, and completely dissolve the ties that you had there. And it's not always a bad thing. Change is good. Sometimes we do this if it makes us happy. All right. And we know that by having a lifelong or even just a long period of negative emotions and feelings, you're just not going to be happy. So we do have to get rid of these toxic situations, whether it be relationships, workplaces, or whatever. And, it takes courage to do that, to realize that the situation you're in isn't working. You might have I say a great job. You might have a great job, and it might pay really, really well, but if it's not good for you emotionally, if it's toxic, it might be because of the people in there, it might be because maybe the style of the work that you're doing. But if you're in a toxic environment, it's just going to poison you slowly, and you need to get out of it. Negative emotions will lead to negative thoughts. That's just common sense, isn't it? Negative emotions will lead to negative thoughts. If we surround ourselves with negativity, all we're going to see is negativity. All we're going to feel is negativity. Okay. If you're looking for gold on a beach, but all you can see is pebbles, then you're not looking for the right thing. Okay. You've got to focus on the gold. You've got to focus on the good things. All right. And where are we going next? Oh, Mr. McHugh. Okay. By recognizing our emotions then. By recognizing our emotions, we can then analyze it and do something about it. All right. If we start feeling a particular negativity, we can focus on that negativity and start turning it into not a positive, but start turning positives around it, bringing in the positives into it. Okay. Can't turn negative into a positive all the time. Okay. Looking for the silver lining, so to speak. But what we can do is start changing our thought process. So we were always thinking that no one likes me. And we've covered this up before about generalizations. Okay, coming home at the end of the day and talking to your partner or whoever, saying, I've had a really crap day at work, nobody likes me. Well, the chances are somebody does like you. You just haven't found them yet. But even if nobody likes you at work, there's got to be something wrong there and you're in the wrong place. You need to go and find another place of work. But what we can do, of course, is start talking ourselves in a more positive way. When we have that voice in the back of our head that keeps telling us that we're shit, that we're no good, that we need to, we're just worthless, then we need to start doing some nice positive thought processes, telling ourselves actually what we are good at, highlighting the things you're good at, writing them down, repeating those affirmations on a daily basis, sometimes even more than once a day. Repeating those affirmations, recording them on your phone so that you can hear them in your own voice. But the best time to record affirmations is when you're in a positive light already, so that you can really focus on them. And when you record them, really throw your acting skills into it, like, I'm bloody amazing. Okay, and you can play that back to yourself on a daily basis. And every time you hear it, you're going to feel yourself smile. You're going to feel that emotion, that good emotion, that endorphin, and everything else. And there's been proof scientifically that if you record your own voice in these affirmations, they are 70% more powerful. All right. So even if you don't like the sound of your own voice, record them anyway. I hear my voice online on my audios and things like that. And for some reason, it just doesn't seem like it's me. All right. But I get past that and I just listen to it as if it's someone's talking. So maybe I'll learn something that I said earlier that I've forgotten about. But don't worry about the voice. Don't worry about it. It doesn't sound like you. Nobody sounds like their own voice because what you hear inside your head is totally different to what everyone else hears. Okay. So record these affirmations, these positives about yourself. Put your acting skills in, have a bit of fun with them, and then play them back on a daily basis to really boost your or lift your feelings, your emotions every morning. It's a great way of doing it. Okay, so by getting the right kind of mindset, by being proactive with our negative emotions, we can start turning them around. And when it comes to anything in our lives, if we're reactive, the chances are it's going to be an emotional response. When we're talking about negativity, this is okay. We're going to have a negative emotional response. If we're proactive, we are tackling the negative response before it arrives. By being proactive, we can start making sure we've got a positive start to the day. Whatever routine you like to do in the morning that makes you feel good. Okay, whether it go for a walk with your dogs, go to the gym, do a bit of exercise, have a nice healthy breakfast, positive affirmations, bit of meditation, um, cold showers. Cold showers have been proven to give you an endorphin and dopamine and serotonin rush. Okay, it's a great way to start the day. I'm on about week 7 of my cold showers, and believe me, I'm noticing the difference in the way I feel. And I'm looking forward to my cold shower in the morning. Now, the way I do is I have a hot shower first and wash and everything. Then I step out of the shower, turn it on cold, a couple of breathing exercises. If you haven't heard about Wim Hof, the Iceman, look him up online and you can find how to do these breathing exercises and then jump under the shower and it's just absolutely exhilarating. Okay, I can feel the endorphin rush now just thinking about it. Makes me feel good, makes me feel happy. But having the proactive mindset is where I was going with that. And that means we know when we need to ask for help and we should never look at asking for help as a weakness. Asking for help involves courage, it involves intelligence, it involves wisdom, it involves experience, all those things that you have to be able to ask for help. Courage, wisdom, intelligence, experience. Okay? So do ask for help. Reach out to me, reach out to anyone you know that might be able to help you. Okay? don't be scared to ask for help. Like I say, it's not a sign of weakness. In fact, quite often, the easiest thing to do is not ask for help. The easiest thing to do is not ask for help. You can sit there and just wallow in your own self-pity and just carry on with life the way you are. Or you can decide to be proactive, ask for help, which takes courage, okay, and do something about it. Make sure that you change. If you carry on doing the same thing over and over again, nothing will change. The outcome will be exactly the same. If you decide to do something about it, change the way the things in your life that are causing you problems, then of course you will change, and you can change for the better. Self-growth, it's an amazing concept. Now, all this encompasses you growing as a person, recognizing your emotions and experiences and everything else. And that is going to make you a better person, not only for yourself, but also for those people around you, whether it be a family member, a friend, co-worker, whoever, because you now are aware of your feelings, your emotions, why you react the way you do, and you can then recognize it and analyze it in other people. So why did that person just lose their temper and throw their pen across the room? Okay, something's not quite right. It's a bit of an overindulgence on their behalf because the thing that went wrong was trivial for whatever reason. But for them, it might be a mounting accumulation of problems. Okay, so you can see that. You can then be able to use your experience to talk to them and help them and let them understand why they reacted. Help them understand why their little chimp brain needs to be tamed so they don't react in such an outburst of anger. And by having that skill set for yourself, you can then impart that skill and knowledge onto other people. So you become a better person. You become a better person for you. You become a better person for all your friends, family, relations, and everyone else. And I don't know if anyone else has commented because I can't see anything on here. Nope. Oh, yeah, Andy. Hi, Andy. Nice to see you, mate. Anyone wants to give me an update on what the hell's going on with Zoom and the way you can't stream directly into a group anymore onto Facebook? Muchly appreciated, because I'll be able to do it next time. Anyone got any questions? I'm just going to waffle on for a few minutes so people will get a chance to write down any questions on below the video. I'm going to have a little drink of water. Ah, yay! Anyone got any questions? Anyone want to know all about their emotions and why we have them? At the end of the day, they serve us well. They're there for a reason. The only time we have a problem with our emotions is when they quite often get out of control. Nothing wrong with having fear and anxiety in the right situation, but when it becomes constant, when it becomes depressing, when it becomes an overwhelming feeling, then we need to do something about it. And we need to be able to recognize what's going on, what's causing these problems, and this is where you might need to ask for help. Maybe you're struggling to recognize why things are going wrong, why you're feeling the way you feel. That's why, people specialize in these subjects like myself to try and help people to do this. I've had to do my own journey through this. A lot of learning, I was going to say reading, but I listen to audios, being dyslexic, but a lot of listening and learning and a lot of self-growth that I can now impart my experience, wisdom, knowledge, whatever you want to call it, to help others. And it is a passion of mine, as you probably already guessed. Anyone got any comments? No one got any questions? Oh, hi Andy. There's another Andy, Andy Pickle. Hi Tina, nice to see you. But it seems like no one's got any questions, but you can please do get in touch if you've got any questions. And yeah, emotions, they are there to serve us, but we need to have control of them. I think that's probably the key. They're there to serve us, they serve us well, but we do need to have control of them. And when they're getting out of control, that's when we probably need help in whatever way, shape, or form. If you know how to help yourself, then of course you can do that. If that's not working, then ask for help. Take the courage. Be the courageous one. Ask for help so you can be better for those around you. Well, I've taken enough time on your bank holiday weekend. I hope you enjoyed it. Please put comments below. Let me feel some love because I like a bit of love. It makes it feel all worthwhile that I'm doing it. Okay. And if there's anything anyone needs help with, you can just private message me. We can have a conversation. We can have a chat. Whatever. Okay. and I'm around. I'll be there. If I don't answer my phone, if you try and ring me, leave a voicemail and I will answer you back at the earliest opportunity when I'm free. Okay? Take care. Enjoy the rest of your bank holiday. The weather tomorrow is not looking great around here. So, but whatever you do, have fun, stay safe. Peace and love, man. And here we go.